Hi everyone, welcome back. So all the Moza gear eventually arrived and I got it all mounted onto the cockpit. So I thought we'll have a quick look at how I've set things up on the rig and any issues that I've had during the setup. So here we go, here's the GT Omega Prime, and it, as I mentioned in my previous video, it's got the keyboard tray option, the mouse pad option, and I've got the shifter plate down here on the left hand side. So let's start off with the Moza gear. We've got the R12 mounted straight onto the GT Omega wheel plate. The only thing I needed to do was just lower it slightly based on my seating position, but other than that, straight on using the standard mounts, no problem. The CRP pedals, they're onto the Prime Plus pedal plate. Again, they mounted straight on using the standard Moza holes on the base plate for the pedals. So this is the CRP pedal set, and using the 4 corner brackets underneath and sliding the front aluminium profile forward slightly. Everything again dropped in no problem. The only other change I've made on the clutch pedal, I have moved it over 1 notch to the left, as I found I was catching the clutch pedal when I was going for the brake with my trainers. Up underneath the keyboard tray, I've got the handbrake and the shifter. Originally I did try to mount the handbrake on the side of the shifter. I did find that when I was going into reverse I was cracking my knuckles off the side of the handbrake. So what I decided to do in the end, I had some spare bolts left over from the Prime assembly, and I just drilled out the hole very slightly, and that allowed me to mount the handbrake straight into the aluminium profile. On the right hand side of the rig here, I've got the e-stop, so if anything does go wrong and the wheel starts misbehaving, I can just hit the panic button and shut everything down. And then on top of the R12 I have got the CM dashboard, which sits nicely in there without any real problems. And in addition to the GT wheel, I did also get the FSR wheel, and yeah, haven't tried this one yet, but it certainly looks like a nice piece of equipment. Over on the right hand side of the wheel, I do have the Razor rebranded loop deck, which I have for the different options within the games. And I did find in Loop Deck's download store a profile for Assetto Corsa, which gives me all the extra options for the ignition and wipers and all that sorts of things, on top of the buttons that I've got programmed on the steering wheel. Steering wheel and everything feels absolutely rock solid. The quick release mount is really straightforward, really well locking, and I've had no issues with any wobble or any clicking or anything weird like that. No bother. For the PC side of things, this is my old machine that I built 5 years ago. It's a Core i9 7920X with 2 GTX 1080 Ti graphics cards and 64 gig of RAM in there, and that's been working problem free despite it being a 5-year-old machine. And here up on the screen, so the last few days I've just been working on Assetto Corsa, getting my driver rating up, so I've been doing a lot of the track competence and things, so that's coming along nicely. If I click on track competence, I've been working my way through the tracks, and so far I've collected 25 out of the 63 track medals for the track competence, giving me up to 78 so far, and the total score for my driver rating is currently sitting at 6,480. So I've just been battering away, learning the tracks, trying a couple of races against the AI, and yeah, it's all been absolutely brilliant fun. So for the steering wheel, straightforward, quick release, just pull back the metal collar, off pops the wheel. There is a little triangle at the top of the column. Align your centre of the steel with that, pop it on, job done, no problem. So yeah, straightforward, wheel starts up and everything is hunky-dory. And for the screen, I've got the Samsung 55-inch Q80C, and that has been absolutely nice and crystal clear, no problems at all, even with running the games in reduced resolution just because of the age of the PC. But I'll dare say we'll get down to an upgrade of that PC later in the year maybe. But in the meantime, no issues at all running any of the games that I've been trying on here, and I've been really happy with how things are. Alright, so let's head on to the screen. We'll take a quick look at a couple of things on the PC. Alright, so here we are inside the Moza Pit House software, and Again, it was straightforward. All the devices showed up on here with the auto updates, no problem. The only thing I have noticed is that the e-stop and the shifter, they don't appear on the Moza Pedals software, although they do function perfectly fine and you can calibrate them, everything as no problem. So I don't know why it doesn't show up on the updater, whether they're not supported by the auto updater and you've got to use the manual updater, I don't know, but that is something that I'll need to take a look at and to be aware of. Although, as I say, you can calibrate things, no problem. Everything works, no issues at all. And yeah, it's maybe just a glitch in the Pithouse software. So that's all we really need to say on there. Down the right hand side, yeah, I've got the Assetto Corsa profile set up in there. I did also use it with Forza Motorsport. When I first set up the wheels and the pedals and everything, I found it absolutely impossible to drive inside Forza Motorsport. So I went onto the internet, searched for some recommended settings. I'll pop a link into the description there if I can find them again. But I basically set up all the settings inside Forza with that and on Pithouse, and after that, no problems at all. One thing I did notice is switching from using the game controller to the wheels. I don't know what happened in terms of the brain, but it felt more realistic and there was that element of motion sickness. Although it wasn't motion sickness, you could feel the brain certainly working differently when you had the controls with the steering wheel, which was a really weird feeling to begin with, but you know, that sorted itself out now after a few hours of play. Alright, so here we are in Assetto Corsa, and as I say, I've just been working my way through the track competence, gathering up all the medals for the different tracks, and I've just basically been picking a track that I haven't done, driving it until I get all the 3 medals collected, and that's obviously building up my track competence. Consistency, it's a little bit harder, obviously, that just needs lots and lots of practice, but yeah, just slowly building up the speed in the cars, and yeah, we'll get there eventually. Car control, likewise, it just follows with your progress. And the safety rating, that was, I did 3 AI races on the, I can't remember which track it was, but yeah, no problems at all. Although I did find that the AIs seemed to be a little leery, and they did run me off the track a couple of times. So yeah, that's just the way it goes in a shoot. I dare say that'll be something to get used to over time. Alright, so here we are in Assetto Corsa, set up in practice mode with the Red Bull ring selected, weather is clear. Realism is obviously set to beginner because that's still what I am. We're currently using the Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT3 car, so let's go for a run. Right, so there we have it. There's my GT Omega Prime with all the Moza R12, the GT, FSR, CRP pedals, the shifter, the handbrake, and yeah, hours of fun to be had. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one, and hopefully we'll get some live streaming of the races.